The Way of the Heart, Lesson 3. Lesson 3 starts with the statement, I cannot discover anything that sparks more eloquently the love that God is than your very existence. The greatest gift that I could ever receive could only come to me as I chose to surrender the very perception that I might conjure up about you, my brother or sister, that would veil the truth that is true about you always. Something began to speak to me, that underneath all of the perceptions that I could create of another, there was something radiant and shimmering, waiting to be delivered. I began to shift my perspective slightly. I began to move away from striving and began to cultivate within myself the process of allowing. I discovered that if I looked upon my perceptions, my feelings, my behavior exactly as they were, without overshadowing them with my own interpretations, if I could teach myself to embrace things with innocence, veils began to be dissolved from my mind. If I look with innocence upon all things, a light begins to shine through those things. As I rest more and more in this innocence, more and more the light shines. And in all situations, no matter what another is doing, I choose to allow my first response to be that I enter into a quiet stillness within and ask, what is most appropriate in this moment? How do I exist in a way that extends love? For there is nothing that I can be aware of in the energy of another that I have not known in myself. And when I perceive another acting out of hostility or fear, the only way I can recognize it is because I have been there myself. Who is less? Who is worthy of my judgment? No one. Who is then equal? Everyone. And when you enter this space, you will see skillfully what to say and do to gently help another correct their misperceptions of themselves and learn a path of self-forgiveness. The veil of projection occurs when there has first been denial. Projection is the attempt to insist that reality is other than it is, or that you are a victim of circumstance in a world that can do things to you and cause you to make decisions you would not have made otherwise. That is always a denial, always a lie. Punishment is only the insane attempt to convince. Therefore, awakening requires that you observe your own thoughts, observe the feelings that are evoked within your body when next something is reflected to you by the world that causes you to become angry or causes you to be in judgment. Stop and look with innocence and honesty and ask, I wonder if I might be able to make some other choice. Now the mind will object. But I say, stop fooling yourself. All events are neutral. Unless you want to live in that insane way of being upset all the time. I want you to remember that this time has been given to you, that you might use it constructively. That means when you awaken in the morning, realize that you are in school. You do not have to drive anywhere. You are already there. The universe is literally helping to assist you into having experiences that will bring things up for you so that you can choose to look at them differently. Thus, your ordinary life every day is the most perfect ashram you could ever hope for. So in each moment that catches your breath or your heart or your gut, ask, what is this moment teaching me? In your ordinary moments, 1,000 times each day, you will be confronted by opportunities to be disturbed. But I say, every time You judge another. You judge yourself, and you have weakened yourself. You have slipped down the mountain another notch when your desire is to be at the summit. You are a conduit of energy. To the degree that the conduit is in perfect working order, the energy can flow so radiantly that the conduit itself becomes transparent. It no longer blocks. There's no barrier or limit to the light that can flow through that conduit. When you judge, it is as though you contracted and made the walls of the conduit smaller, just like building up rust in your pipes, and the flow becomes less. As you forgive, it is as though the rust in the pipes is dissolving. The walls of the pipe that carry the liquid of grace expand. Judgment is contraction. Forgiveness allows the spaciousness within your consciousness to grow. If you ever want to come home, you are going to have to become very, very selfish. So selfish that you will not tolerate judgment in yourself of anyone or anything, because you will begin to recognize that every such act catapults you to the other side of the universe from where you want to be. Judgment causes the very cellular structure to break down. If you could see this, you would never judge again. When you judge, even the cells of your body vibrate in a completely dissonant way. There's a contraction. The fluids do not move through the cells. The nutrients do not become delivered to the cells. Waste matter is not processed properly. Everything gets clogged. There is dis-ease. Therefore, understand that judgment is not something to take lightly. Only love can heal. Therefore, when you know you have judged, simply say, yes, that is that judgment thing. I recognize that a cloud has just passed through the field of my awareness, but I can choose again. I am going to choose again. When old memories come, recognize how that feels inside and extend forgiveness to yourself and to that person. Say, I embrace you and I love you and I free you to be yourself. I bless you. Reactivity itself indicates the need for self-forgiveness. This is a major understanding, a major lesson. If I am the source of my experience, if I am feeling disturbed, what is it in me that needs to be healed? Remember your own murderous thoughts. Don't deny them, but simply notice. They do require that you forgive yourself. What is it that this action is mirroring in me? And at the end of each day, say, I release and forgive this day. It has been perfect and it is done. Consciousness is a very subtle and powerful thing. You cannot help but create. The goal of this path is to learn deliberately to create with the mastery of being able to look upon the things of the day and say, it is very good and it is finished.